Hi, my name is Bear, and let's start with Torchlight 2. This game is highly addictive and can fast-forward your life rather quickly. Some people say that this is a spiritual brother of Diablo 2, but I can't agree with that. It's too cartoony, the models and color palette reminds me of World of Warcraft instead. Although I played World of Warcraft for several years, I still have the best memories. I think I will get back to it. That is when I'm old, some 25 years from now. Anyway, Torchlight 2 is great, very complex and fun, and if you are cool with this colorful Disney princess visual style, it may be one of the best action RPG games you have ever played. You know, if you like Diablo or similar games like Grim Dawn or Path of Exile, Torchlight 2 is probably a must-play. Fallout 4. Here you can play from first or third-person perspective. You can take items that lie around and roam across a big open world in search of adventure, absolutely ignoring the main quest and story. So basically it evokes, at least for me it did, the same feeling of freedom and exploration as the Elder Scrolls games. The main difference, of course, is the setting. Fallout 4 is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi game. It's filled with mutants and creepy facilities to explore. You can also join various factions, and that will immensely influence the outcome of the story. Sadly, they don't have a potato salad faction you could join. That is a shame. The game, along with the third Fallout game, has only one really annoying feature. In both cases, I finished the game thinking that I have like 10 or more hours of gameplay left, and it ended absolutely unexpectedly and way too fast. So if you decide to play Fallout 4, keep that in mind. Roam around, do some side quests, do not rush the story. All three games, I mean third Fallout, Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4 are great games. You have all my recommendations. Arcanum of Steamworks and Magick Obscura. There is a big chance that you have missed this game 22 years ago. Well, I absolutely did. I have no idea why it wasn't popular in Lithuania back then when every kid was playing Baldur's Gate 8 times in a row. So Arcanum of Steamworks and Magick Obscura is a straight highway to Nostalgia Town. Good thing is that the game was made in the time when everyone wasn't woke, and some themes in the game are being thoroughly avoided by most of the games nowadays. Also, the game is not dumbed down. You know, I just recently played Diablo 4, it is a really fun game, but made in a way that an absolute idiot could play it. You don't even need to arrange stats anymore, everything is done for you. You just click, click, click and you win. That is amazing, but, you know, it's not the same as before. And that is not the case in all good games. Here you'll find 16 primary skills, including gambling and healing, 80 spells with 16 colleges of magic, and 56 technological degrees with 8 disciplines. The game is huge and replayability is really high as well. Like really, I'm not kidding, here you'll find more than 300 unique characters and monster types. People on Steam are saying that if they could sell their soul to the devil for the remastered version, it will be a great bargain. Sadly, most of them are probably redheads, so the devil is not interested. Well, anyway, let's hope to see a remastered version someday in the future. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. This is probably the best fantasy open-world RPG ever created, and I doubt that I could find anyone who at least never heard of it. Well, at least inside the Western influence hemisphere, it's a true legend. On Steam it has more than 600,000 reviews, and 96% of these people recommend this game for you. And my friendship with Witcher Geralt started way before any of the games were released. I read the book when I was a teenager, and after many years I even got Andrzej Sapkowski to sign it for me when he was visiting Lithuania for some book fair or something. And we also spoke for like 20 seconds as well. Never washed my mouth in years after that. Anyway, the game has an incredible story, super fun gameplay, and a huge dark fantasy open world to explore. The coolest thing is, of course, your profession. You kill monsters for money, so you can just travel around the map and fulfill contracts ignoring the main story as long as you want or as long as you can get a new contract. And every single monster hunt is a handcrafted mission with different outcomes and sometimes hard moral choices. The Witcher is probably the best game I have ever played. Wasteland 3 Colorado Collection. I will say bluntly, if you like tactical turn-based games, this RPG here is a must-play. It's not a recommendation or something, but the law. You must play it if you want to go, you know, to game hell after your death. Anyway, this version of the game includes both the Battle of Steeltown and Cult of the Holy Detonation expansions, as well as the Colorado Survival Gear bonus items. And the game itself is a wonderful gem for all Fallout, Baldur's Gate, and all turn-based combat fans. In Wasteland 3, you will travel to the frozen wastes of Colorado to deal with gangs, cults, and psychopathic clowns in effort to bring stability to the wastes. Or, you know, as always, even more chaos and even more psychopathic clowns. Yeah, not like in real life, your decisions really matter and the world will change according to your actions and reactions. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. This is a massive, challenging action RPG that drops you into a vast open world full of different creatures and characters. The game was a bit underrated when it initially came out, but over the years Dragon's Dogma regained its glory. I've heard that the second part is in the works as well, but the release date is rumored to be only in the year of 2025. Dragon's Dogma shares its open nature with the games like Horizon and Witcher 3, but has more strategy and more dynamic fights. It's a tougher game in general, but if you like to explore the open world and love fantasy games, you will probably like this game as well. Gamers are talking that this is an underrated gem that is a must-play for every open world RPG fan. Songs of Conquest. For everyone who hopes this game to be another Heroes of Might and Magic 3, I have good news. This actually is another Heroes of Might and Magic game, literally. It's an honest clone made in pixel art style. When I played it, I had the feeling that if you gave the same task of
"Please make Heroes 3"
to two different teams, then Songs of Conquest could be the alternative pixel art Heroes 3 we never had. Until now, so is it a modern game filled with novelties and originality? No. Is it a nostalgic, really beautiful alternative Heroes 3 game we actually want? Yes. Yes, it is. Although, if you are allergic to pixels, it's not for you, avoid. You know, even if you like the art style like I do, sometimes you want to zoom in so you could look at the creatures, at their features, but then you realize that you just zoomed in on a bunch of colored squares and you can't even tell where the head or its butt is anymore. Also, Songs of Conquest have no town screens. I think it's the biggest flaw. I want my town screens, I can't do anything about that, but in general, this is a great game. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. This game reminds me of Witcher, but for a younger or, less brutal audience, because it has somewhat similar battle mechanics, open world full of monsters, many dialogues, third-person view and so on. But here you will not find any gore, twisted creepy quests, splattering blood fountains or any nudity. Redhead will never show what she's hiding, here you will get no love affairs, no hot scenes by the waterfall, just robot dinosaurs and indigenous people. I played about 30 hours of this game a few years ago on my PlayStation. I had a great time, but I never finished it because I encountered a difficulty spike and I couldn't play anymore without loading a save game that was an hour ago. And I had no intention to do that. So be careful of the places named the Cauldron. Make sure your character level is appropriate before entering inside. Kingdom Come Deliverance. If you take Skyrim and strip it of dragons, trolls, elves and magic, you might get a very boring game. Not as boring as your sister, but really, you may think that it would probably suck. But these Czech developers who created Kingdom Come Deliverance managed to make a realistic medieval Skyrim-like game that is not only not boring, but is one of the most famous open-world games nowadays. It has a great story, interesting missions and a really beautiful world set in an ancient part of nowadays Czech Republic. So grab your wooden sword and show everyone how to fight. Well, I'll be honest, this game is terribly hard at the beginning. A simple drunken peasant will destroy your dignity at ease. The learning curve is not friendly at all, but you will learn, everyone learns. You're not worse than everyone, right? Although in general, the harsh reality of a level 1 villager that decided to become a warrior is not very pleasant, like in any game. And combat here is very realistic. I'm not kidding, some duels against stronger foes can span 15 minutes or even more. Here you will really feel like a lone warrior fighting for your life. Immersion definitely over 9000. Titan Quest Anniversary Edition. Initially the game was released in 2006, so it would be outdated by now, but thanks to this major overhaul, it is not. And it has more than 90% of positive reviews, so please, nail down your attention if you like games like Diablo. So if you ever played the old version, keep in mind that here you will get better resolutions, larger camera distance, multiplayer, mod support, Steam achievements, improved enemy and pet AI, countless bug fixes, dozens of new heroes, and so on. Titan Quest is a great game, one of the most beloved by the action RPG community, and I couldn't recommend it to you enough. It's literally like a potato itself in a potato salad. This is a masterful variation of Diablo formula and an absolute must-play if you like isometric hack-and-slash titles. Pyre. This is a party-based RPG in which you lead a band of exiles to freedom through ancient competitions spread across a vast mystical purgatory. Here you'll find a campaign mode where you will never be forced to lose progress. That's interesting because whether you win or fail, your journey still continues. The interactive narrative is expressed through a story that no two players will experience in quite the same way. On top of the single-player campaign, Pyre features a local two-player versus mode where you can play against a friend or CPU opponent, which is way more realistic realistic for you, my lovely friendless schmuck. So here you can choose your party from 20 different characters and dive into battle. This game has two modes of gameplay. First one is the battles, which makes your heart beat faster, and let's be fair, that's probably only cardio exercise you do, and also slow, text-heavy sections with very little player input, so you often lose that combat readiness when you deal with those scenes. And most of us play games like that not for the text walls, but for the great action. Well, this game has both, so it's up to you. And now, thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!